Hi guys. So with my recent Facebook status, I noticed a lot of people were like super supportive and really sent a lot of love my way. And so that got me thinking like, oh well, that's one of the most amounts of activity I've seen around any of my Facebook posts. So like what's the reason for that? And I think it's because people are drawn to positivity because they want more of that in their lives and they like seeing good things happen to people. So I decided I'm going to start, hopefully, if I can keep up with it. I have so much to do all the time. Um, Making videos about my experiences in the hope that that maybe it'll get to somebody and inspire them, or get to somebody and help them, or hopefully be exactly what someone needs to hear, because I know a lot of people have a lot of the same issues that I have had, and especially within my group of friends as well, and especially my friends who are women. Um, so today I wanted to talk about self-improvement, kind of as a starter, because that's that's where my one Facebook post recently came from, my status about my weight loss and then my weight gain, and how much I've just completely changed as a person from the bad points in my life. So when I was experiencing that bad point in my life, I didn't see a future for myself ever really being positive. And I don't want to say that my experiences now are constantly positive, because that's just not how life works. Life is never going to be constantly positive, but I'm able to deal with situations so much more positively now, even negative situations that come my way. And getting out of that place largely for me, well, first of all, I got a dog as an emotional support animal, and that helps a lot. If you just feel completely helpless being alone, try not to fill that void with significant others, because they can't ever do that for you. That's something you have to do yourself. And I don't want to see my dog as a handicap, but she's kind of an emotional crutch I lean on. But if you need like whatever animal to get through the day, please get that animal. And there's so many animals that need to be rescued. That's a whole nother issue. But um, get a dog, get a cat, get a rabbit. If that helps you get through your day and helps you be a happier person, then absolutely do it. So one of the things I did was I got Jingo, and I had a fantastic network of people to rely on. My best friend Maddie was absolutely somebody who's always been my rock, and regardless of my poor decisions, has always supported me, but not enabled me. She always told me, what she thought was best for me, and didn't hold back on that or have any reserves in order to, just preserve what I wanted to hear, which was not necessarily the best thing for me. Um, and my parents and my sister, my family entirely gave me a network of love that I am entirely grateful for, and I'm entirely blessed for that as well, because I know not everybody has that. So a second important thing to have for self-improvement is a network of people who truly, truly love you and truly care for you. And you can find that in people. You can find it in strangers, honestly. If you don't feel supported by your family, if you don't feel supported by your friends necessarily, sharing something with a complete stranger may be exactly what you need to hear, or what you need to do, or what they need to hear. Um, so have a strong network. And again, I've had a huge issue with this. Don't necessarily rely on significant others. Because there's a lot that gets jumbled within that. Feelings, that was a bad sentence. There's a lot of feelings that get jumbled within that make it kind of confusing to see if they're truly supportive of you. Um, but if it's a stable relationship and you can recognize that, then by all means, that's someone to have as a good support system. Um, what else? I started doing things for me. One of my biggest issues was that I got my self-confidence in how... Oh, my nose ring has been crooked this whole time. I got a lot of my confidence from how men perceived me visually. And that was how I determined my worth as a woman, basically how much men were attracted to me. And that obviously leads to no self-esteem whatsoever later on in life, and that's not something you should do. I mean, everybody's a beautiful person. Like, even people who are really shitty people, they weren't always that way. You're not born a shitty person. It's just a matter of your environment and what has influenced you the most and what you choose to do. If you choose to fall into negativity, or if you choose to lead a more positive life. And for quite some time, I always recognized my depression and my anxiety and my self-harm as I don't want to say made it an excuse, but I definitely made it a giant handicap. I would say, oh, well, it's a chemical imbalance in my brain and there's nothing I can do about it. It's totally a chemical imbalance in my brain. But there absolutely is something I can do about it besides medication, because medication never worked out for me. You have to choose to want to be happy, and that's really, really, really hard when you're in that rut. But, and I know everybody always says it's gonna get better, but really, really, if you wait, it's gonna get better. I promise. Just, just so much better. I can't believe who I am today compared to who I was. I'm so proud of myself, and you have to absolutely love yourself, even on days when you think you're ugly, even on days when you think you're fat, even on days when you think that nobody loves you, even though I'm sure somebody does. You have to just think that you're awesome. And if it has to be something as simple as waking up and telling yourself that I'm awesome every day I wake up, do that. Like, there's no such thing as a stupid way to be happy or a stupid way to make yourself a better person. All methods are great. Well, not negative methods. Obviously, like getting addicted to drugs and being like, oh, I'm a better person. Not necessarily. I mean, that's a serious problem, you know. But I mean, just benign stuff that, like, if you just have to do your makeup every day, a lot of perceptions I have, well, who are you putting on makeup for? Well, I love doing it myself and for myself. It's fun. I'm an artist. I like to paint. So I like to fucking paint my eyebrows, and I like to paint my eyes and everything like that, and just be as ridiculous as I want. And always just try to be honest with yourself, because that's where a lot of my anxiety came from. I had to lie to a lot of my significant others, which means I lied to myself so much. So much within my past relationships. I convinced myself that, things I did weren't hurtful to other people and that it was okay at the time, but it wasn't. So you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to own up to the negative energies that you've put out there. So my 3 big points are something that makes you feel better, like a dog or an emotional support animal or something, whatever kind of, I don't want to call it a crutch because that's a negative connotation, but for lack of a better term, a crutch, a healthy support system of people, and 3, loving yourself even on the shitty days. And thank you so much to everyone who was so kind to me and sent so much love my way. That really was the impetus for me making this video, and hopefully I'm able to do this on a regular basis, and hopefully it'll touch somebody or help somebody, or really, really anything, make someone smile. That's really, really all I want to happen. And sorry for the lighting. My bathroom is the best lighting, and my webcam is my HP webcam, so it's just awful. But I mean, I hope this helps somebody out, and feel free to comment and leave your thoughts. and recommend other stuff that I can record for next week. And I will see you guys later. Bye.